before I have the competitors come up, I would like to introduce this young lady, Miss Hannah Johnson, who's been with me since her freshman year. She has been on the parliamentary team since her freshman year. And unfortunately, this year we were not able to do the parliamentary. But she said, Michelle, I still want to compete in something. So we found her a contest, but I'm going to let her come up and give just a little speech. And Ms. Johnson, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good morning. It's hard to believe that this is my final year of SkillsUSA. It seems like only yesterday when I first decided to compete as a freshman. In a new school with many new people, I was somewhat shy and struggled with public speaking. Because of SkillsUSA, I no longer struggle with this, and I've made many friends with people who I would not have met otherwise. When I first decided to compete, I told Mr. Hilton that I wanted to do crime scene investigation. Due to some scheduling complications with my teammates, I ended up being the only one to come to the first practice. Fortunately, there was another team that was scheduled to practice at the same time. One of their members was not at the practice, so Mr. Hilton asked me to sit in on their practice and act as a fill-in, and I became an alternate on the chapter business procedure team. A short time later, a team member quit and I became their replacement, and little did I know this would have a huge impact on me. From that day forward, I had 5 teammates with whom I developed lifelong friendships. As a part of this team, we went on to become state champions during my very first year, and that summer we traveled to Louisville and placed second at the national level. And determined as ever and motivated by our newfound success, we went on to become state champions for the second year in a row. That summer we once again traveled to Louisville and placed third in the nation. Unfortunately, our team had 3 seniors that year, so they were no longer able to compete. The next school year, we trained new members, but due to COVID, we didn't get to compete. I was the only member of the team who chose to compete this year, so I had to find a different competition. This year, I competed in the related technical math competition, which tests the knowledge of different mathematical concepts in technical fields such as electrical and construction. Because my focus is in criminal justice, I didn't have much background knowledge on these topics, but with the support and encouragement of Mr. Hilton, I chose to compete anyways. I'm very fortunate to have had the opportunity to compete 3 out of 4 of my high school years. And I'm so very thankful for the friendships that I've been able to make through SkillsUSA. It will forever be one of my most memorable experiences in my high school career. Thank you.
Great job, Ms. Johnson. Didn't she do a good job? This is what Skills is all about. Be able to get up, talk. As she said, her freshman year, you wouldn't be able to do that, would you?
No, freshman year I would. There's no way.
Dad, you're right. You're right. She was kind of shy, but we got her out of her shyness, and boy, and she'll let me know too sometimes. Mr. Hilton, this is how we do it. You're doing it wrong. I said, okay. So she's good. She lets me, and Mrs. McLean too. They're good at letting me know. So, all right, now our next person who competed was Miss Dean, Atlee Dean. And she was going to, this is her first year competing. It was last year, but of course, due to COVID, we wasn't able to go. But she was able to compete this year virtually. So, Miss Dean, if you would come up, explain what you did, and then as you're doing that, I'll get your video ready.
So my name is Atlee Dean, and this is my second year technically of competing in skills. And I chose to do, my competition is Job Skills A, and I chose to do the standardized field sobriety test because of my dad is a big thing and he could help me a lot with this. That's one of the reasons why I chose to do it. And I just want to thank Mr. Hilton for this opportunity. Skills has really helped me with speaking and overall has really helped me with my leadership skills.
Video. Good job, Miss Dean. Before you talk about this year's, talk about the national experience because you've been at nationals, and so the floor is yours. Go ahead.
So as Mr. Hilton just said, I've been doing this since my freshman year, and as a freshman, I've always done the action skills competition. So I had to present how to cast and lift a footprint, and I was fortunate enough to win at state and then go to nationals, and it's just amazing experience to get up there and then be able actually to place the nationals. I got second place and just be up there and just want to say thank you, Mr. Hill. He's always been just excellent to help us in every way he can. Just thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Mr. Mullins, talk about this year's competition.
This year's competition, I am presenting how to find and lift a fingerprint from a crime scene, and there's kind of some similarities between it. It both deals with criminal justice, but it gets the same action skills. You have to have like the board, and just you have your items kind of, and you have to just present the process throughout.
This last year, extemporaneous speaking. Unfortunately, now you got to experience regionals last year, and did you win first place?
Yes.
Yeah, she also won gold at regional, but skills was canceled last year. But this year she said, Mr. Hill, I still want to do it, so we allowed her to participate this year. Same competition, extemporaneous speaking. Ms. Smith, if you would come up here and explain what is extemporaneous speaking, your experience so far, and then we'll allow the video to be played.
Well, thank you everyone for coming in to support us and for Mr. Hilton for hosting this. As Mr. Hilton said, I compete in extemporaneous speaking, meaning that I'm given a topic about 5 minutes before I'm expected to give a speech on that topic. And the topics usually range from leadership to teamwork, and they really look for you to tie that back into SkillsUSA in one form or another. This year was a bit different. We expected, I came in to my competition, we expected that I would be asked a few interview questions, and then they would give the topic and I would give the speech as I practiced. But when I got onto the call, they asked the interview questions, and when I was finished with those, they said, all right, you can leave the call. And I was a little nervous and kind of shell-shocked because I was expecting to be given a speech, and then I was not given a topic. And so I did what they said, and I logged out of the meeting. And Mr. Hilton comes and he says, did you give a speech? And I'm like, no, I didn't. And so we logged back into the meeting, and turns out that they had done it a bit differently. And after just a bit of a miscommunication with some of the judges, they decided to convert the competition to more of an interview-based focus. So they completely took out the extemporaneous speaking, but I still competed in it, and so that was a really cool opportunity, especially to be able to do it virtually, because that is becoming more the way of the world. But to practice for the extemporaneous portion, Mr. Hilton has been great. I mean, it's so clear that he knows the competition and what's expected of competitors. So during my practices, I've been given a topic and 5 minutes to prepare on that, and then asked to speak on it for 3 to 5 minutes. And it's just been a great opportunity at getting me more comfortable speaking in front of a crowd, as well as just being able to very shortly draw upon a topic and be able to give a presentation on it without preparation, which was a bit out of my comfort zone. I had to get beyond that perfectionism tendencies and know that it's not going to be perfectly polished, but to just have personality throughout the presentation as well. And so it's been a great opportunity, and I look forward to 2 more years in SkillsUSA.
I'm Jacob Smallwood. I'm a senior here at Volunteer, and it has been one crazy ride getting here. I started out in SkillsUSA my freshman year. I came here for the 8th grade tour, and I saw Mr. Hilton doing blood splatter back there on that wall, and I was like, it's my place to be. So I started out here. I placed 4th in regionals my freshman year, 3rd my sophomore year, and 2nd my junior year. And I went to state all 3 of those years, actually, is for each individual.
Thank you, Mr. Smallwood. It's been a pleasure having you. I believe I've had you since your freshman year as well. I believe so. So Jacob has competed in SkillsUSA in the criminal justice competition. Regionally, you've won, what, 3rd and 2nd place, I believe. And the highest he's got at state was 5th, which is a phenomenal job at the state level. So we're proud of Jacob, and he's a wonderful young man. Now we have our state president, Miss McLean. I know she has no issues talking. And so, Miss McLean, the floor is yours.
Well, I'm Ellie McLean, and I'm the state president. Last year I was the state treasurer, and just to give you kind of an idea of what we would normally do in a year, we normally go to Nashville about every month, and then when it gets closer to the state conference, we go about twice a month. And we normally get to go to like Washington, D.C. for about a week, and we meet with all the educational leaders that kind of fund SkillsUSA and do all that. But kind of going back to my freshman year, I was actually on the team with Hannah, and I remember coming into the criminal justice program, and I think it was about my first day in Mr. Hilton's class that he decided to completely just go ham on everybody, and he started kicking trash cans. And
That was an accident.
no, it was definitely not. I thought this guy is crazy. I was like, I gotta get out of here. But luckily, I stayed in the class, and I can tell you it has been the best experience of my life. Now, don't take that too far, Mr. Hilton. But no, SkillsUSA has definitely, allowed me to do so many things I never thought I would be able to do. And it also allows me to talk with people in the educational system about what SkillsUSA offers and kind of open their eyes to be able to see that this is an opportunity that opens so many doors for us in our future. And they also like to know, how it helps us. So once we explain how it helps, they are more involved and they want to be involved. So they, help fund us. And then they also, colleges, when you're interviewing, I know I've been going to colleges, kind of decide where I'm going to go. They're eager to learn about what SkillsUSA is when I put it on my resume and things. So once I explain to them exactly what it is, they are so excited that there is something out there like this that can push us towards our career goals. So SkillsUSA to me has just, I never thought I would be where I am. And when I competed in parliamentary, it was first nerve-wracking to have to get up and talk in front of judges, but now it doesn't bother me at all. And I'm very excited that Eliza will hopefully be getting the same experiences next year that I did, because going to Washington, D.C. and all that was just so fun. And you get to meet with so many people that you didn't even know existed, but they are so important to our educational system today. And it's just been a great experience, and I'm very sad I didn't get to compete this year, but I'm excited to see how everybody else placed, and I'm excited for what the future holds. So thank you.
Thank you. Excellent.
What's the
Today is the SkillsUSA Awards ceremony. This year it's been virtual. Normally we go and compete at SkillsUSA at Chattanooga, but with COVID restrictions being in place, the SkillsUSA decided to do it virtually. So our students here at Volunteer High School has competed in different competitions, and they have done a tremendous job, and they've sent videos into the state. The state has reviewed these videos, judged them, they've been interviewed, and now today we're going to see the results of that, see if any of them has made a medal on the medal list. There's 3 medals that they could win. First place is gold, second is silver, and third, of course, is bronze. And if a contestant wins gold, they get to go to nationals. And national is a tremendous event. It will be virtual this year, and so we're hoping for the best. But I'm proud of these students, whether they get 50th place to first place. These students are wonderful. They put in a lot of hard work, and I appreciate them.